right, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming back. I am doing Ryan Lang's The Dragon Hunter. You can find him on ArtStation under Ryan Lang Draws. You can find him there. And he's got an extremely great portfolio. You've seen him doing a lot of marble work. And yeah, so what we're doing is just doing our best to recreate that. So let me get this picture up real quick so I can show you what's going on. So we pretty much got this guy. Oops, excuse me, wrong screen. Pretty much got this guy done. Enough to where we can start adding other things in. Because I don't want to focus on this guy for 3 or 4 weeks and then put this guy in here and then realize I got to do a bunch more adjustments, right? I'd rather have a lot of most of the scene here, at least, in placeholder form, and then I can really hone in the forms and shapes. So, yeah, that's what I'll be working on. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. And, yeah, so I'm just going to get my scene set up. Quadro. If you don't know about Quadro, it's a free program. Quadro. Quadro. You can add web images or, oops, wrong one. Web images or images from your hard drive. So it's very, very convenient. There we go. There we go. So, where to go? There we go. So we're going to put this on top. That right there. Make sure all of you can see it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start on this dragon a bit and try to see what we can get out of this. So, here we go. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a sphere. It doesn't matter. You can grab anything. You can grab a car. It doesn't matter, right? Because we're just going to Dynamesh it. So I'm going to kick it down to a 32 resolution. Reason being is that I like to have very low, at least the way I work personally. That doesn't mean for you it might be different. But for me, I like to get all the major forms in roughly, and then go up in resolution. Right, so, and I try to stay here as much as possible so that it really reads. So we can do. We're gonna see. And marking things in roughly where this head will be. Just making sure things are framed properly, like the eyes we can see. And notice that I'm not here like zoomed in super, super close and trying to sculpt all this, right, at a super close angle. I'm looking at it from very far away, right, just so I can get the feeling of it. And and don't worry about how horrible this looks right now. All we're doing is just marking things in, and no matter what, no matter how good you are, when you first start, it's gonna look like crap. So just know that with every single master that has ever lived, you have something in common with them. When you start sculpting, just like them, it looks like crap. Right? Just gotta put in the work. Get it done. So we had Kirill Tokarev from 80 level. Do I have perspective on? Yeah, I do. All right. From 80 level on Meshed Up on a few days ago. And it was really, really cool to have him on there. You should definitely check out that show on Zbrush Hangout. He is the editor-in-chief of 80 Level, and if you don't know who they are, you can take a look at their Facebook and see what kind of outreach they have and what type of audience they have. And their website is nice as well, and you can post your artwork there and get all that stuff. But they're very, very good about sharing quality tutorials and articles. Like Ken Levine from what should we call it? Rational Games praised one of their articles, and yeah, it's just really quality stuff. And he was on the show telling us, where we can go, what we can do to really um, boost our media presence and our effectiveness, and where to start. Because a lot of people come into this industry and they're just starting out, and God bless y'all, because there's so much to navigate uh, professionally, and not even um, considering it personally, the trials and tribulations that you got to go through, and yeah, and so for those that are just starting out, sites like Zbrush Hangout, um, 80 level, 10,000 hours, um, level up, those type of things, and those type of sites are good places to go. So definitely, if you aren't part of those, CB Ho Club, 10,000 hours, and what should we call it? 3D animation art group. What else? Who else? What else? Who else? Yeah, ZBrush support. CGSharing.net. I mean, there's so many of them. So many of them. I can't. If I missed you, I'm sorry. No way. That meant to. But anyway, so yeah, check out those sites. Start networking. Start talking. Start making friends. I mean, in the world of Facebook, don't be afraid to talk to people, because if they don't want to talk to you, they just don't answer back. That's it, and it's easy. It's an easy thing to deal with. So don't be afraid to, message whoever you need to. If they inspire you, let them know that they do so. You never know what people's lives are going through. Maybe made their day with a true and honest, sincere comment about their work and their ethics, and how it helps you. Because like there's plenty of artists out there, especially for me, uh, that I look up to, want to be as good as, like Dan Rorty, obviously our Lord and ZBrush, Raf Grassetti, and have those opportunities to teach and grow, create, So yeah, definitely let someone who inspires you know that they inspired you. It's important. So we are getting this shape of the dragon going. Don't have a lot of reference. Don't have any side views. So I'm kind of just winging it, and um, putting shapes into place. I'm not really concerned if they're super correct or anything like that. You can see I'm even sculpting over this mouth that we just did. Like, it just doesn't matter, because you just have to keep shaping things and going and sculpting. Sculpt, view, adjust. Sculpt, view, adjust. That's the process. And I like to put in eyeballs as soon as possible. looks like a happy dragon right now. I think we want that, do we? Ready, so. Let's take a look at the curve of his mouth. So, yeah, we can see it goes up, down, and then back up, right? So we're going to go same way. Up, oops, oop, down, back up again. Looks even happier now. And so we're going to fill in this head. Does anyone out there dragon sculptors? Anyone have lots of experience with this? As yeah, I'm learning a whole bunch on this sculpt. I wanted to do something with an environment and a scene and like a mood instead of just characters standing or being posed or whatever. I tried doing it with my Court of Owls um, versus Robin and Nightwing. Did my best on that, and I just did not. It was a little bit too much for me to handle with no experience and myself learning all that and trying to put it all together. I mean, it was a good attempt. I mean, that's all we can go for. But what was it? But yeah, I'd rather try to recreate someone as great as Ryan Lang and have that blueprint to guide me so that I can learn from it. I'm not just going to arbitrarily create this. I'm trying to understand his shape language, his light language, and just trying to learn as much about this image as possible, so that whenever I need to do something for myself, I have this experience to support my decisions. Square off this job. Nice, powerful jaw. Reinforce that back here. I'm pretty sure we have to quite a bit about reptile jaw anatomy so I can support these shapes because I don't want to just throw them there. But yeah. So many cool shapes in this thing. Try to get this. I don't want to put in the horns just yet because definitely haven't caught the feeling of this dragon yet. If you've been watching the other stream where I sculpted the dragon on her, I only started posing and started adding like details, or I'm still adding details, but I waited until like the feeling of the character was there in terms of the artwork. Amazing. Yeah. I think I might be neglecting people. Stream. I am. Okay, so yeah, that Nightwing piece, Court of Owls piece is in what you call it in my art station. So it's art station shotgun screen. If you wanted to check that out. But yeah. So how much longer do we have till Game of Thrones is going? Like a matter of days. I believe it's just around the corner, dude. It's gonna be good. Excited for this season. And I still gotta go see Spider-Man. I'll probably go see that Sunday or something. But I keep hearing it's good. Hopefully they got it right this time. I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, it's Disney. Disney and Spider-Man go hand in hand together. Back a bit. Put on some music. Hopefully that'll help. I rarely sculpt in silence. There we go. Alrighty, so I'm just trying to block out these shapes. Triangle, pretty much. Front of the face. Give him a bit more throat in here. I don't think he's on a diet or looking to go for any GQ magazine shoots. A bit more. Give it some room. Looks like the head is one of the smallest parts of the body, so what we'll do is we'll select our mask lasso and a little bit more than that, invert it, and we will put the periscope, inflate it, and that's out. A little bit more here. Looks like that mouth is going all the way back. I'm gonna mark that in. Back. Aim that back down. It looks like there's a little lip there, but nothing too much. And again, I'm just interpreting all this and just seeing what the interpretation looks like. If it looks good, then I keep it. If it doesn't, then I just try something else. And a lot of artwork is about patience, about getting past the emotional stress of not being as good as you want to be all day, every day. But you know, you just take it in stride. It's a whole lot easier to do that. You can be patient and hungry at the same time. If you would rather watch on Twitch or YouTube, you can find me under Shotgun Scream, and I'm streaming there as well. I think we're getting close. Like we've got pretty angular, eyebrow here, meaning Make it not look so sad, but a little bit more angry. There we go. Definitely what I'm looking for. Now we can give more support to those amazing eyebrows. So, I think what we can do safely is redynamize that, and then get our move brush, get a large brush size, and really fatten up this beast. Get our mask pen. That. Out. And really only concerned with what we can see. Not concerned with creating a tail and all that stuff. At least not right now. What I'm most concerned with is just interpreting what I see and then making those adjustments earlier, and just trying to capture the feel of this dragon. 'Cause I think the face, yeah, that's kind of where the direction. You can see how unfinished it is, but you can see also that it's pretty. I mean, obviously there's plenty of things to fix, but in general, it's captured, right? And so now we're just gonna move on. Move on. Got a huge scene we gotta put together, and it's better if we have as many of the assets in as possible. But
we sit in the sun, in maze, we sleep, and we dream. Each of us dying slowly, the prison of our minds.
gotcha.
We sit in the sun, in maze, we sleep, and we dream.
Got some chest muscles.
Each of us dying slowly, the prison of our minds.
deal right now. That's fine. Alright, so let's go again and start pulling out these forearms. Mission. Dragon forearms. Kind of this about. You know, at least from, you know, all the dragons I've slayed personally. You know, video games, of course, you know, I think I know what I'm doing when it comes to sculpting dragons. You know? But, yeah, they do have, like, human-like arms, so I'm just gonna rough that in. Bulky. Disgusting. And then, you know, trace fingerinos. So 1, 2, 3, invert. Excuse me. Maybe what we will do instead, set it up a bit better, you know. Little palm coming out of here. And the palm's kind of square-like. Okay, so one finger. And a mesh. Dynamic. Final finger. So now we can shape these about. So what I'm gonna do is thicken up that middle finger first. I'm gonna get my end plate brush and boop 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 boop. Not really concerned about the shape right now. Then get a thumb in there too. So shape up the sand pit. So do that. We're just gonna that off right there, and we're just gonna work on these shapes. So what I'm gonna try to do is give it some type of like human hand here, or at least have it end up in human-like fingers. Knuckle, 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 just marking in things, right? Not really concerned about having it extremely perfect right now. We got plenty of time for that. Right. My lovely dog. Alright, so roughed in the fingers, and that's pretty much all we're looking for, right? At this point. I mean, we got so much to do. Not really concerned with the direction of these fingers right now. So, you see, it's in the beginning, whenever I first started sculpting, I would obsess over everything, right? And make sure that it was perfect before I moved on. And it took me forever to get things. And then whenever I finally got it and then I wanted to pose it, then guess what? I had to re-sculpt everything, and it just way too long of a process. So for things like this, where it's just like, you know, cool sculpt and image and all that, we're just gonna, you know, run a Z remesher and a quick UV. Now, you know, it's not for production; it's just for rendering and illustration. So, so for that, you know, I'm not really really concerned of capturing every single detail in a T-pose. What I'm concerned about is just getting the feeling and then moving on. Getting the feeling, moving on. Yeah, if you are interested in having like game ready meshes and stuff like that, then that would be our streams late at night from like 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central Standard Time. We do Batman New 52. We're doing an animation in Unreal, and those models and everything, we are, you know, that's all for production. So if you're more interested in that, make sure you turn in tonight at 9, which is what, probably that is in hours. It's in about 2.5 hours. So, it should, it's gonna be a good show. Gonna have Jen on. Whatever. Jen's gonna be on. Hiram, John, Chris, like lots of really cool people. Lots of funny people, cool people. Very thoughtful. Artists and human beings. So definitely come by and work and hang out with us. And also, if you know, like really want to hang out with us and work, then feel free to join us in the ZB Ho room. You can find that link at the Zbrush or ZB Ho Club. It's on Facebook. Yeah, and feel free to join that group and get access to that room. We have people from Romania, Sweden, Finland, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, California, Texas. I mean, literally everywhere. Oh, and Australia. Everywhere. That do totally different things and are very good at it. So definitely come in and check them out. So now we can start fixing up the space a bit more. Pretty much got everything to the same point. You can see here I'm growing my selection. You can do that by Control-Shift-X after you've made a selection. It works much better on, topologized models, of course, but works here just as well. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is start taking a look at this shape language, making sure it says mean, ruthless. Pick that chin out a bit. Hey Hector, thanks for saying so, brother. Yeah, this concept is by Ryan Lang. Yeah, definitely check him out on ArtStation. It is Ryan Lang Draws on ArtStation. And while you're on ArtStation, you can find me at Shotgun Scream. So appreciate ya. And get back to the sculpt. So let's see. Zoom in now. And we're going to use our play build-up brush, and we're just going to start making sure that these eyebrows sit below the forehead, right? And that there's a ridge there as well. Well, no, but there's a plane change, put that way, from a clear indication right here with this highlight. That this shape right here continues right here. Now that I look at it, point right there. That looks a bit meaner. Right, and then pop it up, bring it to the side, and make sure we have a nice, interesting shape there, right? There we go. Now it's a little beefier. Okay, so next part would be doing the same here, making sure there's a difference between the upper and lower jaws, and then we emphasize that. Yeah, it looks kind of mean. Chisel. It might be a little bit too high on the forehead. Nope. Yep, that'll work. bigger eyes. And now we can start hitting these shapes with a little damp standard. Start reinforcing these sketchy lines that we've been putting in. Thanks for the love, Hiram and Jack. Appreciate the likes, dude. Yeah, Facebook's algorithm is weird. Sometimes if there's enough likes, it'll post it in people's feed. Sometimes it's enough shares. Like they just value shares and likes, so back and forth. It's kind of weird, but if you're enjoying the stream, learned anything, give it a like, man. Give it a like. Give it a share. So, and putting in wrinkles on this guy. Trying to figure out a flow. Trying to add some, just some secondary detail. Really enforces how mean this guy can be. And, not really thinking about it, just seeing a shape, seeing that it can be, whatchamacallit? See if he can be influenced more or emphasized more. That's what I'm looking for. This is 5. Right, so we lost our shape here a bit. That back, because I kind of want angle here. So, got that. Somewhat have it. I think it's time to start putting in some horn. First, a little drink of water. Then we'll get to it. And if you have any questions, like it says in the top left, go ahead and ask. So good. Like, I'm always fearful that one day, you know, the world's gonna run out of water. I'll think back. Man, just wish I appreciated all that water I had. So, you know, every time I take a drink of water, I'm like, oh, thank you. Excuse me while I take a little tiny smoke break. So how many out there are just learning ZBrush? How many out there are, you know, pretty seasoned, think they're pretty good? And how many just know that they're good? Alright, so we're going to add some. We're going to append a cone. We shall choose the cone. Place it where we want it. Actually, I'm going to sculpt. Okay, so this one's going to be further back in the head. A little bit right here. Right here. And then we're going to mirror and weld it. Beep. There we go. Are you the key master? Are you the key master? Are you the key master? So, we're going to curve it a little bit, make sure symmetry's on. Bam. Okay. And we can add some funk to it in a bit. Make sure these things aren't super tiny. Pokey poke. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to hold Control and Shift, and we're just going to duplicate those. We're going to rotate it around, and we're going to down. Going to push it down a bit, rotate it, douche east. Right there, let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The other two are quite small. Locals. Okay, there we go. That right there, and then we can duplicate it again. W, Control, and Shift. Like that. Because we have that. Down a bit more, and there we go. Okay. So, and not that much. There. Yep. So we kind of got into space. You can see it's kind of like whenever you're sculpting characters, you kind of want to get the eyes and the hair in there as soon as possible. And this guy's hair is his horns. So it's good to have those in here. For visualization purposes. we will give this a little bit longer of a neck. So, I'm gonna get my mask lasso, get this neck. A little bit longer. So we are going to add some damp standard lines, just rough in some of how the skin folds are going to go, and nothing too serious right now. Again, we're still in the block in stage, and don't want to put in these tertiary or super fine details, especially when we're still making major form adjustments, right? But it's just an indicator of what it could look like later, and how these wrinkles reacted to the shape that I had in there, and it kind of helps me shape it up as well. I guess nobody in the audience is ZBrush artist. I don't know what's going on. None of y'all are learning or anything like that, dude. What's up, dude? Yeah, if you're just joining, I asked earlier what everybody's level. Everybody's level of whatchamacallit, ZBrush artistry is. And thanks for all the likes, guys. Oh, you're all fucking awesome. Thank you so much. Alright, so we're gonna get back. Okay, we're gonna lower that jawline down a bit more. And raise that up and dip that down. Should be going up, down. Probably not that up, probably right around there. It goes up. Pull that out. I'm just looking for a nice nice angle. And what I'm trying to do is just match the forehead as much as I can for right now. And again, that's going to change as we continue sculpting. That's fine. There's no problem. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Weird. Oops. There. Okay. Yeah, I think that's enough to zero mesh it. So let's do that. Let's keep it at 5,000. Oh, we kept our shape. Pretty good. Alright, so now we can really start having some fun. Is subdivided a few times, and we're really going to start knocking in these specific shapes. You see, it only took us 45 minutes to get to this point, and yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. Good. again, at this point in time, not very concerned with knocking in every single detail perfectly. I'm just, creating eye sockets, creating eyelids, ensuring separations between the skull and the jaw. And through that, I'll find some new shapes and angles that I can use to my benefit. Be good. It'll be all good, dude. Alright, so let's start getting so what I'm gonna do is see if we have any vector. Come on, okay. Nope.
What a cop. Excuse me, Your Honor. Anne, ever consider another line of work?
No, I like being a cop. You know what they say. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen.
I'll just see if I can find some. Yeah, well, I guess we don't have anything. Did they have a vector brush or something in here? Cool. I'm just gonna fuck myself then. Alright, so let's grab a and let's point mesh 3D out of it. See what we can do. Yeah, what up, Hiley? Okay, so alright, another cone, and we are going to make sure we don't have some subdivisional bubbles. So we're gonna go 8 and 8. So maybe 16 on this one, 8 on the other, and we'll make this polymesh 3D a little bit more manageable. There we go. Too much information on the last one. And then bring this part down, that part up, and just make sure we can place that inside of the skull for the lip. So that looks like one good tooth. So that's this one, right? So we can repeat that over and over here and there. But I want to have about 2 or 3 that are kind of unique, just so that whenever we start placing them everywhere, we have somewhere to start, and we can uh, and then we can adjust just a few here and there instead of trying to adjust every single one and making them each unique or trying to look like the other or something like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create this. We're gonna create an insert mesh. I'm gonna have it as a new one, and that's one. And I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm actually gonna name this Dragon Tooth 1. Then this one Dragon Tooth 2. So whenever we create it, it has the right naming convention, and it doesn't say Polymesh 3D1, 3D2, and crap. Back to remove brush. So this one we are going to have a bit wider of a stance. Solos on. And more triangular. These will be like a 1 or 2 tooth type thing. Definitely not on the same. Definitely not symmetrical applications. Just to pepper it in there. Okay, so now we got all that. And I know that was just so amazingly interesting for all of you. So now that we have that, we are going to start dragging these in, you know. So the opposite way. And we are going to keep doing this. You're getting a scary dragon. He's getting there. He's getting there. Alright, so now we can go to the next one and start importing those. Oh, this song sucks. Thanks, Harley. Thank you, Harley. Yeah, this thing reminds me of the Ghostbuster monster in there. Dozer. You just love putting in dragon dudes one at a time. Oh. Going down. So what we're going to do is we are going to auto group all these, and then we're going to get our move topological so that when we're moving things, it only moves the polygroup that our cursor's on. So see, it's not going to affect it. If I use regular move brush, you can see it's all being affected. Okay. So what I'm doing is just starting here and ensuring I get these teeth right. Alright guys, well I think I'm gonna take a break and hit you back up around, let's see, what time is it? Yeah, hit you back up in about an hour and a half and we'll get started on our Batman New 52. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. You can find me anywhere under Shotgun Scream. And if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. And I'll see you in a few hours.